game against VAPO. I spoke about a lot about how Nidalee you want to pick a lot of frontline, you want to pick a lot of crowd control. We saw that Mango picked the Bard yesterday against the Nidalee, but it was just a horror fest. Like there was nothing that you could do because Nidalee was just hitting spear after spear, and there was no one in that team composition to even block it in the end. So that's going to be going in the hands of Quant with the Bard, and Ezreal getting priorityed over the Lucian. So Deadly wants to stick on that more safer pick rather than the Lucian, which does get picked up on the other side by International Jobcenter and maybe a Leona as well. So plenty of front line, plenty of engage with Leona, which can be followed up with the engage of the Lucian or even Nidalee spears right after.
Yeah, I mean, the Ezreal here, maybe it's kind of like the people, the players have seen that Jash had such a great performance on this champion yesterday. Obviously, it took him a while to get online in that game at #1 between International Jobcenter. But when he did, he started popping off, throwing those triple kills left, right, and center. But locking in the Vi, again, another big pick that came through into the jungle. Obviously, make potential, be able to kind of like hone in with that ultimate. We did see some really good results for, I think it was Jobcenter. It was the only game that they won off of Baguette yesterday where they had that Vi, was just absolutely insane lockdown. So when you got something like the Lucian, being able to dive into the back line is going to be very handy here for Mango.
See what the second bands come through here is just a reminder, this is the third place matchup. The grand finals will be coming up right after this one. So this is Mango against International Jobcenter, and then the grand finals of this best of 5 will be VAPO against Baguette. But still an exciting third place matchup anyway. Ambessa and Gnar being banned away. So a lot of solo lanes being banned out now. And I think that's pretty interesting in this draft because we have a lot of the bot lane with Lucian Leona against Ezreal Bard. We already know that. And also we know both the junglers. So this is one of the very rare drafts that neither of the teams are focusing on getting a really strong priority pick with their solo laners. I think we saw a lot yesterday with Baguettes focusing a lot on their solo laners against International Jobcenter, which definitely helped them out against the likes of Carlos and Ferian. But now it's completely different. It's completely flipped plan with both the bot laners being the focus of this one and Jax being locked in.
Yes, Jax for the top side of the map here, potentially for Mango, obviously using that counter-strike. Once again, just going to be able to be just another means of getting into the backline, right? Obviously, they've got Bard for the play setup potential. They obviously have Vi being able to kind of like charge in as well with the Vault Breaker, but then also now have the Leap with the counter-strike to try and lock down either Snorlax on the Nidalee or either Shy on the Lucian. But now they've got to try and contest, like, they are now going to be faced with Leona as well as that Camille. Obviously, we saw some great performances from the likes of Heste. Obviously, you're not playing in that kind of maintain role, right? Obviously, we was kind of like alluding to the fact that when you pick Camille, she seems to get the dubs, but only when she's not in her design role, which is into the top side of the map. So now they're going to be picking this one. It is going to be potentially going into, could either go top side or into the mid here. Same with the Renekton, right? So which one of these champions doesn't go top? It's going to be in that mid lane.
Yeah, I think you probably want, but I think they're both kind of difficult matchups really for the Jax. I would say the Camille probably has a better matchup against the Jax. I think Renekton just way too much for auto attack focus, whereas Camille, you have a little bit of poke there, but it looks like Mango are going to lock in the Rise as their final pick. So they lock in that mage, they lock in that scaling mage. The only downside really I see of Mango's composition right now, they have a lot of AP damage. Like they have Rise, they have Jax, which is AP. Even the Ezreal has a lot of AP damage. Bard does a lot of AP damage as well. The only real core AD damage source in this composition is the Vi, with a little bit coming out from the Ezreal. So champions like the Camille and the Renekton can go things like more of Malmortius. Leona can go for a lot of magic resist, and you can stop a lot of damage from the likes of the Jax and the Rise. But enough contemplating what's going to be happening with the build. So let's head straight into game number 1 here to see how these teams will fight around the Rift and see who will get an advantage in this best of 5 series.
I feel like it was Mango that actually took the defeat against the Rise as well, right? Like, I think it was VAPO that played that really ballsy, like, teleport to the back line of the enemy team and then kind of, like, collapsed into the bot side of the map. So maybe they're like, you know what? It worked against us yesterday. But other than that, we didn't really see kind of, like, a very fruitful performance of this champion because, obviously, such a late game kind of, like, orientated in terms of damage-wise. But maybe they're kind of relying on the stun here to try and get the lockdown onto either the Nidalee or the Lucian to try and get a potential setup here for the rest of Mango. But, yep, game number 1 here between these two teams battling out for 3rd place within the showdown.
Yep, 3rd place matchup. Bit of a teaser, I guess we could say, Blam, of what's to come later on in the grand finals, which I think is always the exciting part that most people will be looking at as it's like our side of things. The fortunately for us, is it frozen for you, Blam, or is it just me?
Yeah, I think it's just you. Unfortunately, I'm seeing a little bit of action unless I'm lagging behind, but it's fine. You're not missing it much. Oh, wait, no, it stopped for me there as well, but now I'm back in as well also. There we go. There we go. We're both back.
I think it was just a little glitch in the system there. I just froze on like the little fist fight that was happening in bot lane between Renekton and Jax. And I was like, is it just me? And I looked over at my stream and I saw that it was still playing. I was like, well, what's going on here?
You got to cast from your stream, which is probably going to be put a bit of a disadvantage and a bit of a delay there as well. But no, really, obviously, just get a lot of tip-for-tat here, top side of the map. Obviously, they have rotated the Rise to the top side. Just have a little bit of a range matchup against the Camille. Obviously, we're saying that Renekton as well against the Camille, not both having the best favored matchup against the Jax, but mainly the Camille would come out on top of that one. But it looks like Mango have rotated accordingly, right?
Nothing too crazy happening. As I'm trying to make sure that I've just realized on my side that it says server disconnected now, so I don't know what's going on for my side of things. My internet might be having a bit of a boo-boo.
Typical British internet. Typical.
It is. It's
50-50.
It's always the British internet. It's nothing else. Like, it's always us, and everyone else gets nice smooth gameplay. But hey ho, it is what it is.
Okay, TP being used there by Rise just to keep himself alive there. Faker Apo. I mean, he could potentially be being a victim of this 3v1 dive here, but with Quant up to the top side of the map here, just giving over a hand, making sure that they don't lose too much turret platings. But overall, obviously, it's looking pretty healthy for both of these two teams. International Jobcenter currently ahead by around about a few hundred gold here and there. Obviously, main disparity is going to be into you're looking. Obviously, they really want Nidalee to obviously pop off, right? Obviously, that's where their AP damage from the side of International Jobcenter is really going to come through. So I feel like for Snorlax, if they aren't able to get this Nidalee online, then it's going to be not as great as yesterday's performance.
Okay, I think I'm back now. I think it was a little bug there for a second. Oh, well, speaking of bugs, looks like Rise might have bugged out top lane and died to a crocodile. The crocodile squashes the bug in the end. First blood in the top lane here for International Jobcenter. So a good early start there. And with this Renekton, you always want to get that early lead. And I think against this matchup, against the Rise, you kind of expect Rise to have that range matchup so the Rise can poke and do a lot of damage. But if you do get caught a little bit by the slice and dice from the Renekton dashing forward, then you'll be able to take a lot of burst damage, which you do need to be careful of. But good first blood there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the addition of the single target counter as CC as well from the Renekton, I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier to try and catch the Rise. Obviously, we know that he already used his teleport. It's still on cooldown. It is a huge cooldown of an ultimate here as well. So I feel like Freyren was just using the intel that he had to be like, you know what? If I'm going to get the kill onto Fake Apo now, it's going to be the case. And speaking of kills, it's going to come through into that mid lane. Deadly actually being a little bit more deadlier today on that Ezreal.
Really strong there on the Ezreal, getting the extra kill on the board. I think we're seeing a lot that Ezreal is a lot more high priority than what I first thought. I think the AD carry in general is just a lot safer, I guess you can say, to play. And also because of the crit items and most of the core crit items being nerfed, that does mean that Ezreal gets a bit of a hidden buff, I guess you could say, even though he didn't actually get buffed by himself. It's more of a case of the crit items got nerfed, so Ezreal just goes up in priority because you don't build any crit items. You build the Man Immune, build the Trinity Force or Elder's Grudge. So in general, your build just gets a lot stronger. But Lucian, again, losing and falling a bit further behind here. So maybe that priority of Lucian might be changing over the course of the day as, you know, some teams might realize that, hey, Lucian is maybe not as strong as what we first thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the only time I've ever seen the Lucian be dominant was in the battles when it's obviously paired with something like the Braum, obviously trying to stack both of those passives. It's a little bit easier when you have that Lucian Braum combo come through. Obviously, be able to kind of like peel away a lot of damage with that shield. So really, it's going to be kind of like the only damage that's going to kind of get taken away from Shy here is if Solo Bolo takes it to the face, or if we have like Carlos as well. But the face check into this push here could be a potential setup for the side of International Jobcenter, but it's going to divide into the back line, putting a lot of stress onto Snorlax. But now they have to kind of wait here. Shy looking to wait in with that ultimate. Yes, Renekton's going to be there to soak a lot of that damage, forcing the flash from Quant. But now teleport into the top side of the map is coming from Lockdown as well, trying to get the counter strike, trying to stop any kind of a mitigation. The True Shot Barrage coming through as well. Just basically being there to peel a lot of damage from the side of International Jobcenter. Solo Bolo gets taken down. The X-Tech ultimatum with a flash here, though. Very crucial. This could be a huge turnaround here for the side of International Jobcenter. They lost Freyren, but they're picking up more. 3-4-1 trade overall.
4-1 trade overall for International Jobcenter. What a scrappy fight overall, though. It was back and forth, and the snipe from the Nidalee in the end gets the ace for International Jobcenter. Another snipe for the Nidalee, and I feel like this is going to come back to bite them again. You know, we saw it yesterday in yesterday's series that Mango left open the Nidalee and it was picked up. Yeah. This time around, they leave it open against International Jobcenter, and Snorlax is having a great time at the moment on this pick. But that team fight around Rift Herald was so scrappy. Like I said, it was back and forth, both teams trading pokes, both teams trading gauges. But a big rotation point was that Camille. As soon as the Camille came in, used a Hextech ultimatum, that lockdown was just absolutely insane.
Yeah, impeccable lockdown. I mean, it's not only that they got obviously the teammates, they got T1 top side of the map as well as the Enchanted Ensemble. So overall, like that whole team fight really just changed the landscape here for the side of International Jobcenter. I mean, they were pretty much neck and neck with the gold until that point. And we was obviously coining that Snorlax needs to get that Nidalee online, and obviously getting those 2 kills means he gets the Lich Bane here as well, which is obviously going to further him up. But Faker Apo walks into a Hextech ultimatum, and he's not got the health, the stuns coming through. It's going to be the Bolt Break here coming in from Vi as well, just trying to get the oh wow, the readjustment, and then that second skill got the takedown onto Faker Apo.
Beautiful play there from the Camille. I mean, Carlos is having a field day on this Camille in this game. Incredible performance so far. 3-0 and 3. Niddy has 100% kill participation as well for a solo laner, a split pusher like a Camille. It just shows the power of this Camille pick and how much rotation you could deal with. They get another kill onto the Ezreal. And the Tempered Fate every time. And we saw this yesterday as well as, maybe the Bard gets a kill. No, cleanses away from the Ignite, so he stops taking the damage. But like I said, we saw this yesterday as Snorlax is jumping in again. And they just get kill after kill after kill. And International Jobcenter are running away with this. Hextech ultimatum onto the back line as well. Another kill. Jax comes to try and clean it up, but buddy, you're in a 1 versus 4. I don't know if this is what you want. 1 HP. Snorlax would have been hit. It doesn't, but it does enough damage anyway. And that is an ace. And they're just going for more. What is going on?
They're looking just to clean up a lot of kills. I mean, I was trying to compare Freyren to a Trojan horse there, but I mean, it's not a Trojan horse when you're a big crocodile going into the back lines of the enemy team and just completely laying waste them, because that really like set up Shy on the Lucian and then obviously Snorlax on the Nidalee, but also gave room for Carlos to just kind of get that re-engage. Almost getting taken down there by Deadly, but that one kind of like miss aim on that first skill really made the difference there, and obviously was a saving grace for Carlos overall.
I mean, Mango are just running, not in the right direction, Blam, but they are running it mid. They are doing something. I mean, I don't know what their plan was. They just went in 1 by 1, Blam, in the mid lane, and they were just like, okay, I'm gonna go in. Wait, now I'm gonna go in. Now I'm gonna go in. It was just an absolute mess, and now they're gonna try and kill Quant as well. It's gonna use the magical journey to be able to escape. But again, he's still so tanky now, Solo Bolo, with the Zeke's Convergence as the first item. A little bit of potency come through from the Ezreal, but yeah, it's just not going to be enough damage for now, and Solo Volo is just going to be able to escape.
Yeah, I can say with the aid of Shy using that ultimate there from the Lucian really kind of saved Nabil's life actually, because he was trying to run away. He saw the poke come through from the side of Mango, but now top side of the map here, Hextech ultimate catches 2 into it. Takedown onto Lilac Town as well. Look, trying to get the kill onto UI, but obviously he has to force the flash, gets out into safety. That T2 is going to save him. The minions are pretty low.
Oh my god!
The damage from Snorlax.
He smited the minions, so the spear went through the minions and hit like
Commitment.
Snorlax. That was absolutely beautiful. The way he used the smite at the last second to guarantee the spear going through. Oh, that absolutely stunning from Snorlax. And just in general, like International Jobcenter are absolutely dominating this. I just realized it's nearly a 13,000 gold lead as well in 11 minutes of a Wild Rift game. Blam, this was not what I was expecting. I mean, coming from yesterday's performance, I think we saw the Mango was definitely underperforming. In general, we saw that against VAPO and the International Jobcenter. Did look stronger, so they probably come in favorites in this series, but I didn't think it'd be this dominant for the first game.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, especially with the historical head-to-head, right? Like, obviously, it had Mango in the favorites here for the side of International Jobcenter, but now, obviously, this Counter-Strike is going to be absolutely useless here. When you got a 4v1 dive onto you, down goes Lilac Town once again. But like he was saying, complete domination into the gold lead here. Obviously, around about 13k gold. They are not looking at stopping here as well. They don't have a single Drake to let you know what. Forget bot side objectives here. Let's completely just dominate the Rift Herald, the Baron Nashers here, and just keep pushing their base. 12 minutes in, Quake looking low. He has to use a status here to then negate the ultimate. Shy almost falling out there between the takedown onto UI. Trade for Shy is not a good trade, especially when there's an objective being taken here onto the Rift, but into the back line is going to be the Renekton having to force the status. They are going to be able to get a bit of kills here for Mango, but overall, it's very scrappy. Can they come back from this one, or will they all die and lose this inhibitor?
I mean, the Rise is going to try and jump in and maybe do a lot of damage. Actually, the first ability from Bard stunning both members has to use the flash away. Will Snorlax jump back in? He does. He gets another kill. Snipe with the spear. Oh, I don't think he hit it. I think he hit a minion this time instead. And Carlos is just in the bait. Like, it's like I'm watching a solo queue game. What it feels like. It's just so messy from both teams. Like, both teams are just playing so aggressive. There's just no team coordination at all. Snorlax just snipes away the Raptor camp like, hey, thanks, buddy, for the leash. And he just runs straight towards the blue buff. It's just going in and in one by one, like, even for both teams. Like, International Jobcenter, they're diving underneath an inhibitor tower is just insane. I don't know.
Did he? I don't think he actually got that blue steal there as well. Snorlax and UI trade lives as well, but now it's going to be the Lucian. Shy looking to trade the Marksman for a potential no depth here. But overall, I mean, we were talking about it being scrappy literally moments ago, but you look at International Jobcenter, they have the privilege of being scrappy, right? Like, they are still ahead by 10k gold. They have not lost. Obviously, the only turret they've lost is that T1 down to the bot side of the map. So in terms of pressure here, Mango doesn't have anything because they still don't have a dominant minion wave in either of these lanes.
No, I mean, with the Baron buff, of course, as well, that means that the super minions are also going to be coming in. Well, not super minions, they're like the buffed up minions from Baron, which are going to be coming in and helping out. They didn't break any inhibitor tower, though, from the Baron buff. They've lost pretty much all the other inhibitors, though. Ultimate comes on through from the Bill. It's kind of like a love tap there, really. He used his ultimate, and he was like, yep, that's all the help you get, and I'll back off here. I'll go back to the mid lane. But yeah, in general, I think overall it's been pretty dominating performance by International Jobcenter. They still have that 10,000 gold lead. At this point, you can kind of wait until the next Baron buff comes up. With each Baron, every single time you take it, it gets stronger and stronger every single time. So that's why the first Baron buff is a little bit weaker and the time is not really too long, and it just keeps on getting buffed and buffed every time. But they're going to try and push through mid even without the Baron buff minions.
Exactly that. Obviously, they are looking to try and get the inhibitor into the mid lane. The status is coming through. Actually going to be very scary here for the side of International Jobcenter. They do lose Freyren at this moment in time into the team fight, as well as Solo Bolo. I mean, Mango have them on the run, but can they actually formulate some kind of counter-engage here onto the side of International Jobcenter to get a takedown onto UI, onto Lalaktown as well. VAPO goes down. The snipes here from Snorlax. Absolute cinema coming through for the side of International Jobcenter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just clean right now from Snorlax. Will he die?
Oh,
no, he's not even going to die. He's going to stasis at the last second. Shy, maybe I'll be able to do enough damage. He will. And it looks like they're going to try and end the game through mid lane. 8-1-13 on Snorlax, 8-1-10 on this Nidalee. The top side of the map from International Jobcenter just dominated Mango in the end. Both Carlos and Snorlax having an absolute field day. And what an incredible victory to end off game number 1.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely a dominant performance here from the side of International Jobcenter. Like you were saying, obviously, within that match, we weren't